I will present our work titled Learning Decision Ensemble Using a Graph Neural Network for Comorbidity-Aware Chest Radiograph Screening. Chest X-ray radiography is a relatively inexpensive imaging modality which is commonly employed to detect several cardiothoracic and pulmonary pathologies. Automated diagnostic tools for screening chest radiographs can prioritize clinicians' time and effort to critical cases and also help to reduce the intra and inter-observer variations in reporting. Existing work have shown that averaging predictions from multiple CNNs outperform single CNN models in screening chest radiographs. However, many cardiac and pulmonary diseases are pathologically correlated, that is, presence of a disease can increase or decrease the probability of occurrence of another comorbid disease class. An illustration is shown here where 13 different radiological findings in chest X-ray radiographs are represented along the circumference of the chord diagram, and the thickness of the links connecting any two radiological finding classes is proportional to the degree of co-occurrence between them. Now, instead of averaging the predictions from multiple CNNs, which treats each of the different classes independently, we can leverage the comorbidity dependencies while computing the ensemble decisions. In this work, we explore a graph neural network to construct a comorbidity-aware decision ensemble for screening chest radiographs. We have a two-stage framework. In stage 1, a set of n CNN models are trained. Their predictions are combined in stage 2 using a graph neural network that leverages the dependencies between comorbid disease classes to obtain the final ensembled prediction for the 14 different radiological findings. All the CNN models in stage 1 have identical architectures but different learned weights, and the two stages are trained separately in a sequential manner and not in an end-to-end manner. In stage 1, the CNNs are initialized with an ImageNet pretrained weight and fine-tuned with binary cross-entropy loss. The sigmoid activation is used in the final classification layer since multiple radiological findings can co-occur in the same chest radiograph. A four-fold cross-validation is used to obtain multiple CNN model weights by training on different splits of the data. Moreover, snapshot ensembling is employed to get multiple CNN weights while training on each fold. The snapshot ensembling is a technique where the CNN undergoes multiple training cycles using a cyclic learning rate. The model weights are saved at the end of each cycle. These weights are used to initialize the next training cycle and are also used to obtain the multiple CNN models which are used in the construction of the ensemble. In stage 2, we use the predictions from the n-CNN models which were trained in stage 1. Each radiological finding class is represented by a vertex in a directed graph. A feature vector is associated with each vertex, which is computed by concatenating the prediction scores of the n-CNN models for that particular class. The edge weights capture the degree of co-occurrence between the two vertices. This graph is provided as input to a graph neural network which outputs a scalar label corresponding to each vertex. The edge weights are defined as follows. There are no self loops in the graph, and for each pair of vertices, the coherence kappa between the ground truth labels of the class I and j in the training set is computed. The kappa value is bounded in the range -1 to 1, where a value of -1 indicates that the presence of class I decreases the probability of occurrence of class J. A value close to 1 indicates that both classes I and J tend to co-occur together, while a value close to 0 indicates that the classes I and J are independent of each other. Only the top 5 neighbors with maximum value of absolute value of kappa are considered, while the remaining edges are pruned for computational efficiency. The graph neural network consists of a series of message passing layers. The Lth layer of the GNN is shown here. It takes the output feature vectors from the previous layer L-1 as input for all the vertices I, and computes the output DL dimensional feature vector denoted by FL for each of the vertices I. The details of the message passing operation in each layer is as follows. Here G is the activation function. In our case, ReLU was used in all the intermediate layers and sigmoid in the final layer. WL is a learnable weight matrix. HL denotes a fully connected network which takes the edge weights as input, and BL is a DL dimensional bias vector. All these three terms form the learnable weights of the Lth layer of the GNN. So a sequence of such layers forms the graph neural network. We found 5 to 8 layers to be optimal in terms of the performance. Additionally, in each layer, the dimensionality of the output feature vector is increased by 1.3 times that of the input feature dimensionality. The dimensionality of the final layer was kept at 1 to obtain the prediction scores for each of the radiological findings. The proposed method has been evaluated on a public dataset called CheckSpert. The training set consists of 224,316 images. The ground truth labels are noisy as they were automatically extracted from free text radiology reports using an NLP tool, and also contains many missing or uncertain labels as shown here. The test set consists of 234 images. Here the ground truth is more accurate as they were manually obtained using the majority consensus of 3 radiologist opinions and do not contain any uncertain labels. The area under the ROC curves for the different radiological finding classes is presented in the table. In addition to the performance of the proposed GNN-based ensemble, we also reported the results of the single best performing model represented by S, and a benchmark ensemble where the predictions were obtained by taking the average of the predictions of the individual CNN models in stage 1. We also experimented with different architectures for the CNN models trained in stage 1, which consist of ResNet 18, DenseNet 121, and exception architectures. The average AUC values across all the radiological finding classes is presented in the last column. Here we find that both ensembling techniques consistently outperform the single best performing CNN model for all the 3 architecture ensembles. Additionally, we also found the proposed GNN-based ensemble to consistently outperform the averaging-based ensemble for all the 3 architectures, with around 5.8% improvement for ResNet, around 4.9% improvement for DenseNet, and around 3.19% improvement for the exception architecture-based ensembles. We also computed the saliency maps for the proposed method. The entire ensemble, including both stage 1 and 2, was together treated as a black box, and a method called RISE was employed to compute the saliency maps. In the first column, the input chest X-ray images are shown, and the abnormal regions are marked in red by a radiologist. In case of cardiomegaly, which affects the heart region in the image, we found the GNN-based ensemble to attend to meaningful regions, while the averaging-based ensemble did not do so. In case of pleural effusion, both the GNN and average ensembles tend to attend to similar regions in the image, while in case of lung opacity, while the average-based ensemble focused on spurious regions such as the writings in the top right corner, the proposed GNN-based ensemble did not do so. To summarize, we explored a graph neural network to construct comorbidity-aware ensemble predictions for screening chest radiographs. We demonstrated improved performance over averaging-based ensembles across a range of CNN architectures. The best performance was obtained using the GNN ensemble of DenseNet 121 with an average AUC of 0.82. The future work may involve modifying the graph structure to incorporate additional clinical information. For example, the pneumonia finding is a subset of consolidation, which in itself is a subset of the lung opacity findings. Such hierarchical dependencies may be incorporated within the graph structure in the future. Thank you.